guys, I'm live, and I'm going to attempt to do a lesson on the 7-string guitar, but tuned in fourths. So there's no major third. There's no G to B between the third and the second string. It's all fourths. I just thought of this on my walk yesterday, and I just now tuned it that way, and I played with the idea in the 90s. Of tuning in fourths with 7 strings and maybe tuning in fifths with 5 strings. And I tried the fifths with 5 strings idea, but I didn't always own a 7-string guitar, so I didn't always try the 7 strings tuned in fourths. But I figured it just came to me, well, I have a 7-string now. It's an Ibanez slanted fret, but without a whammy bar. But why not try it? So I thought, if I'm going to try it, I'm going to just play. Why don't I explain what I'm doing and show you guys and document it? Because this is the first time I've ever played a 7-string guitar tuned in fourths. So rather than think about it too much and wonder if I should or shouldn't, I just decided to do it. So I said I'd give you guys a lesson, and I'd like to do that now. So how you guys doing? Love you guys. Peace, rock and roll. So if in fourths, there's 7 strings, and every string is a different note. And all the notes of the 7 open strings make all the white keys on the piano. Because if the highest string is F, that's an F, not an E and F. Then there's a C here, then a G, then a D, then an A, then an E, and then below B. So that's the whole circle of fifths, except for the black notes. You know, if there were no black notes, this would be every note, every open string would be all the notes in music. But actually, all these open strings form a C major scale, or a D Dorian, or an E Phrygian, or an F Lydian, or a G mixed Lydian, or an A Aeolian, or a B Locrian, or again a C major scale, or a C Iron mode. I'm going to talk about it before I just start playing. I was thinking also of ways of knowing all the notes on the neck. Like, that's important sometimes. It's not important when you're shredding and know where you are, and you can just play licks and patterns that you know sound the way you know they sound, and will sound good, or if you want it to sound good, hopefully. Or because you don't have to think of every note going by. But sometimes it's good to know what note you're on, because if you go around the neck, it's good to know, well, here's an F, here's an F, here's an F. Now, I didn't know that by figuring it out really hard and thinking about all that possibilities in between. I just know that's an F and that's an F. That's a case where knowing where my notes are all over the neck is very important. Otherwise, I would miss. I wouldn't know where to go. So I think it's important. So I'm going to go over a method of knowing all the notes on the neck with a 7-string guitar tuned in fourths. Before I go on, I want to say that this idea of 7-string tuned fourths is not only new to me. I think it's new to guitardom. I don't think it's been done much, if at all. So I'm not trying to say, oh, I thought of it. You know, isn't that great? But I do think it's a unique idea if it turns out to be worth anything. You know. Okay. So first, let me go through an acronym. An acronym is like every good boy does fine, knowing all the notes on the staff. If you have an acronym that helps you remember the notes. Well, I have one that I used to use and still do for all the seven notes in the circle of fourths or the circle of fifths. And this is not original. I did not make this up, but I like it. And F is Frederick. C is Charles. G is goes. D is down, A is and, E is enters, and B is battle. Frederick, Charles, goes, down, and, enters, battle. So if you can think of Frederick, Charles, goes, down, and, enters, battle, you have the circle of fifths starting on F and up, or circle of fourths starting on F down, circle of fourths. And the reverse is a battle, ends, and, down, goes Charles Frederick. So Adel, Hans, Young, goes Charles Frederick. So that's the circle of fists. Going down the circle of fists from B to F, or up the circle of fourths from B to F, depending on how you look at it. Frederick, Charles, Charles Frederick. So if there's a lot of F's and E's and G's and you don't really remember, just remember that little acronym, and then it'll help you. It helps me, and I'm whatever helps, right? So to know where the notes are on the neck, I like to think of linear modes, and knowing the mode of the open string you're on, and therefore if you know the mode linearly, and you know what, that tells you what the white notes are on that string and where they're placed, and the in-between notes are the black notes, which are sharps and flats, and there's even sharps and flats in white notes, because E sharp is F and F flat is E. B sharp is C and C flat is B. But if you know the mode of the open string you're on, it can help you know where your notes are quickly, rather than just where am I, or memorizing it randomly and it looks like a big hard thing. The high string is an F. So the F in the white keys is F Lydian. So that would mean that I have F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. So, for instance, I know that if I go F, I know the 6th fret on the high string is B, so I can go. I know that's the same. I knew that because I know that the 6th fret up from the Lydian is the tritone, and the tritone above F is B. Also, the middle string is a B string. Shorthand. And then the C is the 2nd string. That's a C Ionian. That's a C major scale. So I know that's C, that's G, that's E, that's F, that's E, A, B, and C. And of course the hierarchy C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So I could go, where's an F? Right here. Let me do it again. Yeah, that's great, huh? F right here. Because I know this is an F. The low string is a B, that means it's a Locrian mode. And this 6th note would be F, and the tritone away from that would be F, because B and F are tritone apart, F. And I know if this is an open C, the 5th fret would be F, C, D, E, F. So let's go pull them short. And then the G is a mixed Lydian, so I know I have G, A, C, I know that. D is Dorian, so that's D, E, F, C, I know that A is Aeolian, so that's A, C, sorry. I know that E is Phrygian, so I know that B is Locrian, so B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So knowing all the modes, the way they're structured linearly up each string, and knowing that each of the 7 strings on this guitar are now one of the 7 modes in the white keys on the piano, and knowing where navigating that mentally while you're playing, you can know where you are, what the note of every string you're on is. I could go, that's an F, and so is this, and so is this, and so is this. No, sorry. So is that. I didn't have to think about it because I know it's the shorthand. Like C is here. C. I should be better. C. No. C. Sorry. C. No. Sorry. C. C. No, I get it. I'm okay. C. F, G, B, C would be C, and C. So I'm perfected it beyond error potential. That's a good method of what your notes are. So I'd like to play some licks and stuff, just that I'm going to kind of make up and just play along and see if you guys like some of the sounds that you can get from the 7th string guitar to the 4th. What else is there to do, right? symmetry of it is kind of awkward because you're used to jumping around with the major third between the G and the B string, and it's not there this time. So it's kind of awkward at first. Just the way my brain works. Oh, it doesn't work. The interval of a fourth is 5 half steps, and there's 7 strings, so there's 6 intervals of fourths, and each one of them is 5 half steps. So there's 30 half steps between the low B and the high F. So there's 30 half steps. It's not 24 like a 6-string guitar. The low E is 24 half steps below the high E, and the high E is 24 half steps above the low E. The high F is 30 half steps above the low B, and the low B is 30 half steps below the low F, below the high F. So 30 half steps means that it's exactly 2.5 octaves, because half an octave is a tritone, which is 6 half steps, and 24 is 2 octaves plus 6 makes 30, which is 2.5 octaves. So that's exactly 2.5 octaves between the 7th string and the first string. And that would mean the 3 octave area would be on the 6th fret of the high F string. That's 3 octaves above this. You can go all the way up to that. Oh, I'm goofing there, aren't I? Okay, this is. Oh yeah, here we go. Is go from the 7th string to the high F string, and then go 6 frets. You have 3 octaves. It's 3 octaves in a very small amount of range. Whereas on a regular guitar, you have to go up to get 3 octaves. You have to say go from the low E string to the 12th fret of the high E string. That's all the way this much further to get 3 octaves on a regular. Here it's only half that. It's only that much distance to get 3 octave range. Scale, all within very small range. With one hand, I can reach the high note of 3 octaves and 3 octaves on the lowest. 3 octaves with a one hand reach. Stretch. That's cool and interesting because 3 octave scales are like the, kind of one of the frontiers of guitar playing because they're not easy to get, and people like Satriani and Vai started doing that, and sometimes in the day, I guess, I don't know, in the 80s, playing wider interval, wider interval scales and even arpeggios, and it's a lot easier on a 7-string 3/4. It's like you don't even have, if you really wanted to stretch, you could go beyond 3 octaves, and that'd be weird. Let's try that just while we're talking, It almost doesn't sound like a guitar because the range is too much. We're not used to the guitar having that much of a range. And it kind of says, what's that? But it really still is a guitar because it sounds like one, and it is one. This is actually that's 4 octaves right here. That's a lot of range. I think that's cool. The math of it is it's 30 half steps between the low 7th string and the high F string, the high first string, first string. So I think about a regular 7th string tune with the major third would only be 29 half steps between the low string and the high string. If you're tuned in regular standard tuning with an extra B, your B to E would be 29 half steps because the G to B is only 4, and that's consider the G to C being 5. And 29 isn't as comfortable of a number to me as 30. In the Crossroads movie, it turned out that Robert Johnson wrote 29 songs, and Ralph Macchio's character, Eugene Martone, was trying to find the 30th song. He wanted the 30th song. 29 is an odd number, not just odd mathematically, but a weird number to have of anything. 29. How many miles did you walk today? 29. How many miles did you walk today? 30. Oh, that makes sense. 30 is just a more better number or something. 29 is a really weird number. And having the 30s, and it's more mathematically elegant, I think, than 29. Next year, which I'm already 58, but I'm 58, and for most of 2025 is exactly 30 years after 1995, which is when I learned ultimate picking and got stabbed in the back and had a lot of life changes. From learning ultimate picking and barely missing getting killed or severely injured from the knife missed my spine by 3/8 of an inch, but that doesn't make it like fun. It was like, this guy just stabbed me, and that all happened in 1995, and 30 years later, I'm 58. I was 28 when that happened. So, I don't know, it works for me. And then my birthday is 12/6/66, and 12 is 6 and 6, and 6/66 is 18, and that really could be 5 6s. And 6 times 5 is also 30. It's just not 5 times 6. It's 6 times 5. So it's my birthday, 12/6/66. If you take the 66 as 18 and take the 12, that's 30. So it could be 5 times 6 or 6 times 5. And I just like 30 is a better, neater number than 29. And it's 29. It's really good. But I like that. Anyway. So let me just play a little bit now. I've been talking a lot, and anybody could talk with a guitar in their hand and say, wow, I tune it this way, but what are you going to do about it? So let me play some. Chord things are interesting in this tuning also. Not just playing leads, but chords are interesting because the shapes are the same everywhere you go. Patterns are all the same wherever you are. It's a different feel than having to where are my notes because of that stupid major third between G and B. It doesn't have that. Something tells me I can't prove this, but something tells me if Bach were here or Mozart or Beethoven, those are my 3 favorite classical composers of this classical type era. I also like Stockhausen, 20th century composers, and I like Debussy, Stravinsky. They're also classical composers, but with different ilk. Would like this tuning. Bach would like this, I think. He wouldn't like that major third. He'd go, what's that in there for? It's only confusing, mathematically speaking. And I think Bach would like this. If I showed Bach this guitar, of course he'd play it like 50 times better than me, but I think he would like the structure of it. I think he would like it. So Mozart and Bach, Beethoven would like this logicalness of this guitar. I think they would. That right there would be unusually hard to do if I were tuned regularly. That would be a lot of weirdness involved in all those stretches, and it would be like, what did I just play? But with it tuned symmetrically in all fourths, you get that. In some ways, it just unlocks the whole thing in an easier way. in many ways. I mean, in some ways you can't play open bar chords into all 6 strings because of the dissonance between 1st and 6th string or 2nd and 7th string. But if you can get past that, and everything, it's a really simple way of looking at the guitar, actually. It's really cool. I like it. Also of note is I finally got my picks in from Bertrand's Music on Old Town Front Street. Thank you, Bertrand's Music. And since they took them so long to get my right picks, they got me the wrong kind twice. They got me the mini kind first, and they got me the triangle kind, and then they got me these finally. They threw in another 6 back just for free. So I got 12 picks for the price of 6. And these new picks are in. So they finally have a good point. I've been playing with, look at the difference. I've been playing with a pick like that, and now I have picks like that. You can even see the difference in the video. So thank you, Bertrand's Music, since Guitar Center banned me. I think for doing Satriani kind of things, I don't know why Satriani hasn't thought of this 6, 7 strings tuned in first, because he does a lot of legato. I think this would be really cool if he would play one of these. You know. There's some Always With Me, Always With You in there somewhere, you know, where it's beautiful, more than just trying to eke it out on a 6th string tuned with the major 3rd, between the G and the B string. You know? stuff going all the way across the neck in symmetrical things. I challenge anyone to do that on any other guitar than this. I couldn't even fathom doing that on any other instrument than what I have right here. I couldn't. I just would like, what the heck is that? You know? I'm going to go for some more melody, melody stuff. Let's try something slower. just started playing this way since this lesson. So of course you're going to get better. You're going to figure out more ways of playing cool on it, and get more facile at it. You know, I'm not like, I haven't figured it all out, the ins and outs. I got the gist of it maybe, but then again, it's all unique finger patterns that you're not used to on a 70-string guitar, much less a 6-string guitar. You can work it out. You can like get good at this too. To where this becomes second nature. That would be easy. I could do it in a week. And the smoothness you can get from just not having any inconsistency between tuning, between strings, it just makes you might be playing smoother in the end of the day than you would if you're still dealing with that major third between the G and the B strings, you know. So, you know.